Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not a.
Hey guys, so years and years ago, I used to do a wind down Wednesday and I decided to run it back, okay? So, I be having stuff to say, but in this day and age, everything is controversial, everybody is offended, and child ain't got time. But this is a safe place, so we're gonna talk about whatever and whoever and however we want over here. All right. So grab your glass and come join me for Wine Down Wednesdays with Leaux. Hey guys, thank you for joining me. I'm real excited about this. This is a safe place, sis. I am here, fresh face, no makeup, no lashes, just a little lip gloss. All right, my little glass and good vibes. But today I had it on my mind, on my heart to talk about my birthing journey, okay? Because I see, a lot of the girls, they always talking about, their journeys, having babies, and some people was like, oh, it's not that bad. Some people say, oh, it was horrible. You should have a baby at home. You should have a baby in a hospital, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna tell you my story. Everything was great until it wasn't. So, yeah. So, as you guys know, I recently had my son, and y'all, listen, I know it's not the same for everybody, but my life is so much better with my son. Like, I absolutely adore him, as I'm pretty sure most moms do. So, I need a sip before I get into this. Now, my pregnancy journey, that wasn't bad. I love my doctor, had a Black doctor. I love that she was very blunt and to the point. So if I asked her something, she'd be like, child, no, you tripping. She talked to me like she was like my auntie or something. And I really appreciated that. I was like, please be candid with me. Don't have me out here blunt. I don't know what I'm doing. My mom passed right before I had my son, and my grandmother passed 2 months after my mom. So when I tell you, the guidance for this journey had just left, and I had never really asked questions about babies or pregnancy or anything because it wasn't on my mind then. So my pregnancy for me was hard because I was so sad. Now, the pregnancy in itself, actually carrying the baby, that wasn't that bad. I'm gonna do it again. I plan on doing it again. What I would say is to stay active. So because I was depressed my entire pregnancy, I gained a lot of weight. So at first everyone was like, oh my gosh, you can barely tell you're pregnant. You're all, how to say, you're all belly. You could not see the weight anywhere else. But that was because my first trimester, I was really sick. The smell of food made me want to vomit. The smell of my refrigerator made me want to vomit. The smell of meat in particular made me my husband tried to make hot sausage patties one day, and I literally ran out the house crying and sat in the backyard. Then I was sat in the backyard because I still smelled. I literally walked down the street. Then when I got back to the house, he's like, oh, I aired the house out. No, I could still smell it. Gagging. Literally the world was my enemy because I smelled smells I did not like everywhere. And even some foods that I'd be like, okay, I can eat this. This isn't that bad, okay? I tried to eat it again, at another point in time, completely turned my stomach. So that was, a journey, but it kind of tricked my mind because I am getting further along in my pregnancy, but I'm losing weight because I'm not holding any food down, and I'm barely eating because I'm scared to throw up. So I'm really drinking my prenatal protein shakes and stuff like that, crackers and whatever. So I was fairly small at first. So then come around to the second trimester, that little smell thing went away, baby, and I was eating. Okay, eating good. Food was good. Because let me tell you, so when we get sad all the time. But when you lose somebody, and this is how I explained it to my husband. You know, a lot of people know somebody who's passed or something like that. But imagine your top 3 right now. Imagine your top 3 people in this world. Let me give you a second. Okay, you got them? Now take one out that top 3. That's a different type of hurt. That's like, I lost 2 of them. It's like, literally, I was in shambles, but the doctor told me that crying until you feel like you're about to pass out, that crying from your soul, she was like, you cannot do that because you can lose the baby. So I'm not losing nobody else. I'm not losing, I don't think I could take losing my baby. I cannot lose anyone else. So, I kind of swallowed it. I swallowed all the pain. And so we're just gonna focus on the happiness that this baby's gonna bring, and we're gonna just deal with these emotions later. Now, of course, I got sad sometimes, but I never let it like overwhelm me. So I'm telling you all this to say that I found joy where I could, and in my pregnancy, snacks was the joy. Okay, and the depression also made me want to stay in bed. So when I imagine my pregnancy in my head, like, you know, when I think about like, oh, when I'm pregnant, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I imagine like, you know, walking, making all the cute little reels and TikToks and the videos and like just all these things. And I didn't want to do any of them. I just wanted to lay in bed. So what happens when you're eating more and you're not moving? You're gonna gain weight. So you're already gonna gain weight because of pregnancy. But I went from like 0 to 100. Like I was like, every checkup I had gained like 10 pounds. I gained a total of like 60 pounds during my pregnancy. Like, was it 60? Okay, when I got pregnant, I was 118. Okay, and then when I had my baby, I was in my 170s. Child, girl, this little body wasn't ready for all that. Okay, so whatever. That was a shocker for me, and it's something I had to, you know, go through because I didn't feel like I was eating that much, but it's like the lack of moving plus the eating, my body just wasn't used to that because I've been small my whole life. But fast forward. So, other than that, the pregnancy was fine. No complications. Every checkup, good. We're good. Doctor, good. Black. Loved my doctor's appointments because I loved all the nurses in there. We're fine. So I'm just like more nervous about the actual delivery, as I'm pretty sure a lot of first-time moms are. You're nervous about the delivery. Child, I had no idea what I was in for, okay? And my story is probably not half as bad as some of these moms out there, but I just did not see it coming. Everything kind of went to shit, like, at once. Okay, so now let's fast forward to the bullshit. I'm gonna take a sip. Bullshit started when my water broke. So mind you, I went into labor the night of my birthday. My birthday is March 2nd. I'm a Pisces. And so after my birthday dinner, my friends came over to the house and they sang me happy birthday. I'm gonna insert a video of us. I probably danced my baby out. That's probably why I went to labor. Because he was due on the 7th and he came early. Just a little early. He came on the 3rd. But yeah, so I went to my birthday dinner after my friends came over to sing me, you know, happy birthday. And they left. So you know how like after your friends leave a place, how like everybody will like text the group message and be like, hey, made it home safe. Hey, I'm home. I sent them a picture from the hospital. By this point, I'm already in the hospital bed, baby, in the gown, ass out, ready to have baby, having contractions like crazy. Like this is like So Grace, people kept telling me, oh, the baby's gonna come on your birthday. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hope not. Like, people thought that was so cute, but I was like, no, I want my day. He literally gave me my day. Like, right after midnight, he decided that it's his day now. He was like, your day is over. Okay, it's after midnight. It's my turn. And he came on the 3rd. But anyway, so my husband's in the shower and I'm in the bathroom. So like our bathroom part with like the toilet has like a separate door inside the bathroom. So like I'm in the bathroom and he is in the shower. And I go to use the bathroom and I just feel like this pop and then like a gush. So this isn't pee. Isn't pee. I was just like, babe. He's like, what? I was like, I think my water just broke. So it's like, I saw like a little bit of blood and like clear stuff. It was like running down my legs. And I was like, yeah, I think my water just broke. So he's like, okay, let's call a hospital. Mind you, we lived like a minute away from the hospital. When I say a minute, like I'm not exaggerating. Like we lived on the same street as, like our neighborhood was down the street from the hospital. Like we were super close, okay? You could get there in 30 seconds, maybe. Like we were right there. Thank God. So, cause all that shit that we planned, back to back, we gonna get this, we gonna do this. I'm gonna do most of my laboring at home, then go to the hospital 11. That shit flew out the window so fast, I ain't think about none of that. So, luckily my bag was packed. Anyway, I call the hospital. This way bullshit start. The night nurse answers, and I'm like, hey, I think my water just broke. And she's like, you think your water just broke? I'm like, yeah, I think my water just broke. Like, there was a gush, and I think my water broke. She was like, well, if your water broke, you would know your water broke. So if it's not still gushing, then your water didn't break and you don't need to come in. Ma'am, okay, clearly something just happened. Something that made me think I need to call a hospital. And I'm not just having a feeling. I'm telling you, something came out of me. It came out. Some things came out. Juices that I have not ever seen have came out. And you're telling me to stay home? You lost your mind. So my husband was like, nope, keep getting ready. We are about to go to the hospital because she's tripping. Like, why would you tell me not to come to the hospital? Anyway, so I go to put on my husband's pants because I can't fit any of my pants at this point. So I go to put on my husband's pants, and like when I lift up my leg to put my leg in the pants, there's a second gush. Because, okay, mind you, the lady told me not to come in because after that first gush, it wasn't still gushing. It was just like a gush and like a stop. Like while I was on the phone with her, it like wasn't still gushing. So, but when I went to lift my leg up to put my leg in those pants, the second like gush happened, and that gush was just like almost continuous. Like it just kept gushing out. But this time, it was a lot of blood in it. Now, call me ignorant, but in the movies, everywhere I done seen, when your water break is water, it's clear. You know what I'm saying? It's clear. Maybe a little mucus or something, but it's clear for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw so much blood, the reason all my plans and everything went out the window is because my heart dropped, because I immediately thought I was having a miscarriage. Okay, because no one ever told me that when your water breaks that it will be bloody. Okay, so this is me telling you, sis, your water breaking, it's a little more than water. It's the water, mucus, blood. It's a lot of things in there. I just wasn't prepared to see so much blood. I didn't know another term for your water breaking was called the bloody show. Look it up. Yeah, my doctor never told me that. She told me a lot of things. She was an excellent doctor, but she just never warned me that my water breaking was going to be bloody as well. So I am panicking. I am no, crying. And my husband is so calm because I am freaking out. Like I just told y'all, I suffered a lot of loss because that wasn't even it. My mom passed unexpectedly. She was sick. She got cancer for the second time, breast cancer. She did not tell us until the very end, okay, until she could not hide it anymore. She passed. Then 2 months later, my grandmother passed, who had no health complications. They say that, they call it, she died of a broken heart. Her heart just stopped. She was grieving so heavy that, I don't know, I think she like grieved herself to death. So she passed unexpectedly. It was 2 unexpected deaths, 2 of my favorite people. Then a couple months later, my great aunt passes. So I had enough passing. Like, and then also my husband's cousin, he passed, who I also knew. So my grief bowl was full. I could not deal with anymore. So when I saw that blood, my world, my heart sank, okay? So like I told you, we lived a minute away from the hospital. We forget everything. We get in the car and we fly to the hospital. Like, we got there so fast. It is ridiculous, okay? We run in. They're checking us in, you know, the front desk. And they're like, what's going on? It's like, I think my wife's in labor. They ask for like our insurance card and stuff. We have nothing. We have just ran to the hospital. We've not taken anything, no wallets, no nothing. Like, if my head was detached from my body, I would have left it out. That's how fast we were moving because I thought I was losing the baby. So luckily, like I said, we lived a minute away. My husband literally runs out and goes home. You can hear him leave. The nurses were laughing because you can hear our car go into sport mode and zoom home, okay? And he zoomed back because by the time they finished like getting my information and checking me in, he was back. Okay, so mind you, at this point, I'm not having contractions. Like, I didn't go in there with contractions. I'm literally just there because my water broke. What that nurse was saying, my water broke, okay? Like, my water broke. And so as she's asking me questions, I'm just like, like, you know, like when you're about to get your period, but you don't have it yet, and you just feel up just like that. That's how I felt. And I'm kind of like moving around a little bit. And that ooh turned to ooh. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely, something's happening. Because I don't feel too right. Like, yeah, and so the lady was like, okay, well, I'm gonna walk you back to your room, and the nurse is gonna come in and she's going to finish asking you this questionnaire. I'm like, okay, cool. So we make it up to the room, and the nurse who's walking in front of us, I'm like, yeah, you know, there was blood, you know, in the gush that came out when I think my water broke. And she was like, yeah, that's fine, it's normal. It's normal. And I'm like, it's normal. When was somebody gonna tell me that it's normal? I am losing my mind, okay? I am so nervous, okay? And she's just like, yeah, it's normal. So at that point, I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure it's normal? I'm okay. It's a black girl too, so you know, I was like, you could tell me, am I good? You know? And she was like, yeah, it's normal, you're fine. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. Like, I could breathe, like I felt a weight lift off to me, and all of a sudden, the joy. Cause I'm about to meet my son, my baby, like, now I'm excited. Call everybody now, like let them know like that we're here, call my dad. Because at the time we were in Baton Rouge, and my family was in New Orleans. So they needed to get up here. And mind you, at this point it's like 2 a.m. So I do the whole check-in process. Now, mind you, I wanted to have my baby natural because my mom had me and my brother natural. So that was like the plan. We did not stick to that plan, okay? I tried for as long as I could. And then at some point, I was just like, babe, tell him I need it. And he said, you sure? You told me that if you said this. And I was like, you gonna tell a damn doctor to give me this epidural? It's gonna be me and you. Okay, so they come in, they give me the epidural, I probably broke the poor girl's hand, so I was holding it because they kicked my husband out the room when they gave it to me. So I'm holding her hand. She gives me the epidural. Y'all, I know they say epidurals don't work for everybody, but that shit worked for me. Okay, when I tell you, I could not feel a thing, nothing. Because one of my things is like, not only do you have to, there are people. Very rare. But there are people who get paralyzed from getting epidural. It's going to your back. I was nervous about that. I just wanted to do it natural, first of all, because I felt like that's what I was built for. Like, I wanted to appreciate the process. I wanted to do it. My mom did it. 3, once you do it, because you cannot feel yourself, you have to get a catheter so you can pee in. I didn't want any of that. But when I tell you, after they gave me that, I could not feel them put the catheter in. I could not feel anything. Nothing. Like, it's beautiful. Like, I was like, okay. So I think I made the right decision for myself, because now I'm calm, I could take a nap. And yeah, so I felt like at that point, okay, this is about to be smooth sailing. About to push this baby out. It's gonna be a breeze. No, there is some more dumb shit that is going to happen, of course. You make plans, God laughs. That's how it goes. Maybe about an hour and a half later, because everybody flew to Baton Rouge. My mom's sister gets there, my dad gets there, my brother gets there. We're good. I told him I got the epidural. That was low-key kind of disappointing to me. I was like, I'm sorry, sir. Have you ever squeezed the baby out your coochie? No. Okay. He just made a comment, and I remember it really ticked my brother off. He said, "Dang, you couldn't do it like your mom, huh?" Y'all, as somebody whose mama passed, when I tell you that hit my soul, I was like, "This is not the time, sir." And mind you, he didn't mean it in a certain. My dad is very blunt. He just kind of says what he thinks, and I'm just like, it kind of hit me. But I just had to let everything kind of roll off my chest. I really didn't care about nothing but my baby at that point. You could have told me, like, girl, I don't know, the ugliest thing on this planet, girl, you ain't gonna be nothing. Girl, you could have literally told me any crazy type of thing, and it would have rolled off me like water, because I didn't care about anything but my baby. So, speaking of the baby, when you get an epidural, they say you fill with fluid, and because they have you on like a fluid bag and a fluid drip, it's in my IV in my arm, and so they have to rotate you. I can't feel my legs. I can't feel any of this. So the nurses have to literally come in every like hour, 30 minutes, whatever the time is. They roll you on your side, then they come back, roll you on your back, they come back, roll you on your other side, and it keeps you from filling up with fluid. They keep you moving. Every time they rolled me on either side, baby's heart rate would just drop. What the hell? What you mean my baby's heart rate drop? And I'm just looking at it on the monitor, and I'm looking at the nurses trying not to startle me. And they're like, oh, okay, we're just gonna roll you back to the middle. We're gonna try again in a little while. So I was only 4 centimeters dilated? No, 3 or 4. I wasn't that dilated. My water broke and stuff, but I was not that dilated. And for people who ain't had baby, dilated is your coochie opening up. Okay, so when they say 10 centimeters, that means like your coochie is this big and is ready for the baby to come out. Okay, so if you're only 3 centimeters dilated, it's literally the diameter. Like they're telling you how open your coochie is. Yeah, I was not that dilated. Could not have a baby yet until I'm fully dilated. So they can give you Pitocin, and what the Pitocin kind of induces the labor, kind of gets the baby going to get out. They couldn't give me that until his heart rate stabilized. Child. So I don't know what to do at this point. They're like, it's just kind of like a waiting game. We kind of just gotta feel it out. So they try to roll me a couple more times. It's been hours at this point, and his heart rate keeps dropping. So she's like, look, you're gonna have to have a C-section. Crying immediately. I don't want a C-section. No, I'm already not having a baby now. So are you telling me I gotta have a C-section? No, like just nothing's going to plan right now. And now I feel scared. Now I'm scared. And she's like, or you're gonna have a C-section, or we can leave you in the middle, but you're going to swell with fluids. And when she said swell, I was like, oh, you can get a little swollen. Yeah, forget it. Leave me in the middle. I'm gonna push my baby out. Just leave me in the middle. Baby, I didn't understand what she meant by swell, because when I tell you I had no ankles, like my leg just went down. No ankles. What is a wrist? I ain't had it. I was already, you know, a little tick from my not moving, heavy eating pregnancy. But now I am filled with fluids. My face is puffy, my ankles, my body. Like my legs, to give you an idea of how filled with fluid I was, when I felt my skin, it felt, how could I explain it? Like plastic. Like it was so smooth because it was so tight from being so full. Crazy. So anyways, they keep me in the middle. His heart rate stays stabilized. They said, okay, his heart rate stays stable for an hour. We're gonna hit you with the Pitocin to speed up this delivery. I said, bet. I'm laying there, y'all, as calm as I could be. Like I am trying my best. Like I'm like, okay, we got woosah. And this is another thing, like I was saying, like I'm letting everything roll off of me. Like as nervous as I was talking like this because I gotta keep it cool. On the inside I'm freaking out, but I gotta keep it cool. Can't have no elevated heart rates, can't have no high blood pressure. Just God got me, okay? My husband got me. Please have me. Somebody have me. So I'm cool for an hour. His heart rate does not drop. Thank you, Jesus. They're like, we're gonna give you the Pitocin. It's gonna speed this delivery up. Hits me with the Pitocin. I'm starting to dilate more and more. We're on the right track now, people. We gonna have this baby. So then, I think they were changing my catheter and then kind of like move me. Either way, his heart rate, it dropped again. And but at that point in time, I'm like moving along in the dilation, so they quickly put me back in. It was like, it's fine. It's like, but I'm going to give you the C-section talk now. And I'm like, why? Because we're not having a C-section, so why are you giving me a C-section talk? She's like, because if you have to have an emergency C-section. I said, emergency? I could possibly be in a state of emergency? Emergency? Excuse me? What do you mean? She's like, if you have to get an emergency C-section, I'm not gonna have time to explain all of this to you because we're gonna have to move really fast. Y'all, I felt like I was in a Netflix episode. Cause what do you mean, ma'am? An emergency C-section? I am freaking out at this point. Crying, of course crying. Because I don't want no C-section. I didn't want the epidural. Like, nothing's going to plan. So she's like, look, she gives me a rundown of how it's gonna go. Like a bunch of doctors gonna rush this, that, blah, blah, blah. Just how everything's gonna work if I have to have a C-section. She said, so when it happens, it's not like you're not gonna know what's going on because I'm telling you now. And mind you, every time his heart rate dropped, like 8 doctors rush in. Like that is so scary. Like just imagine like nothing and then a bunch of doctors rushing in and like touching and moving, like checking stuff, like stressful. It was so, the whole time was stressful. My dad's pacing back and forth in and out the room. He thinks that all this is happening because of my epidural. I don't know. He doesn't like, so he's like, you shouldn't have got that epidural. I'm like, the epidural has nothing to do with this, okay? Has nothing to do with this. I'm going to tell you why at the end. His heart rate kept dropping. But I was like, epidural has nothing to do with this. Like, stop saying that. Because he was like, well, they wouldn't have to be rotating you if you didn't have the epidural and his heart rate wouldn't keep dropping. I mean, which is slightly true, but the problem is that his heart rate is dropping. Why? Why is his heart rate dropping? Okay, it's epidural kind of showed us that there was a problem. So I don't know, whatever. To make a long story less long, I get to be 10 centimeters dilated. Mind you, my husband and my brother just left the hospital. So because he came a little early, you have to get a shot for whooping cough for whoever's gonna hold the baby. And my husband hadn't got a chance to get his. I already had mine, of course, at one of those 10,000 doctor visits I went to. And so he had it scheduled for that day, ironically. And at the Walgreens, it was also down the street. And him and my brother had went. The nurse checked me when I was 10 centimeters dilated. She was like, you're gonna start pushing now. My doctor's not even there. She was like, but you gonna start pushing now. So I was like, okay, well, my husband's not here. And she's like, call him. We only gonna wait a couple minutes, but you need to start pushing. She was like, because we do not want his heart rate to drop. We do not want the baby to be in distress. She was like, because then you're going to have the emergency C-section. We're trying to help you push the baby out since that's what you want to do. I'm calling them like, babe, they said I'm about to push. Like, you need to get here. Like, when I tell you, once again, I heard him get in the car and that car going in sport mode. Shout out to the BMW, because they sport mode be sporting. Because when I tell you I blinked my eyes and he was running through that door, they were there. So I get to pushing, get to pushing. They said I'm doing great. They said I'm a natural. They said I'm good at pushing. Back to the epidural. I could not feel anything, nothing. Like, do you guys do Kegels? Like, can you like tighten and loosen your coochie walls? Okay, if you can, do that a lot. While you're pregnant, before you're pregnant, just do it. It's gonna prepare you. Because that's the push. That's what you're pushing. When they say push, and like, that is where you're pushing. Okay? So I haven't practiced since, so I was ready. And they said I was a natural. So I was like, okay, we're about to push this baby out. He came out in about 10 minutes. So after I was pushing for a while, they could see the top of his head, but he wasn't like breaking through. And so here we go with the damn C-section topic. And she was like, look, his heart rate is, it's being a little funny. She was like, he's fine, but he's in distress. He's in this tiny ass canal trying to get out, and I'm trying to get him out. So we're a little stressed. And she's like, look, they say everything's so damn calm when it ain't calm. But she was like, if you don't get him out soon, we're gonna have to cut you open. Baby, that's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear. My husband whispered in my ear. He said, look, she said, if you don't push this baby out right now, they're gonna have to cut you open. So I'm gonna need you to push. So your knees are back. You ever had a little bit of toothpaste left and you rolled it and squeezed it? That's my body. He took my leg and bent it all the way to my face. So his head couldn't do nothing but pop out. So I did the biggest push in my life, and he folded me, and together his head pops out. And that's nothing against my C-section moms. Y'all are warriors. I was just terrified, okay? So his head pops out, and lo and behold, his cord is wrapped around his neck. So my husband cuts the cord, and he cuts it from around his neck. This is why his heart rate kept dropping. So then I have the baby. Yay, so happy. Everything goes good. The only other mistake that I made was I wanted to keep my placenta so I could get like the little vitamin pills made. Just do something with it. It's worth $50,000. Keep your placenta. But because of everything that happened, it just was not on my mind. And if you do not say in the moment, if you do not say, I want my placenta, like I'm keeping my shit, they're not going to say anything. No one said anything to me. Nobody reminded me. No one said anything. They just kind of took it and dipped. And it wasn't until the next day where I thought about it, and it was already gone. It was already too late. And that made me really sad, but whatever. At this point, I have a human. I have a baby. Like, So I'm good. Yeah, so that was my delivery story. And to any dads who may be watching, they're not gonna ask you shit. I'm married. I thought it'd be different because I'm married. You know, I have some friends who have babies who aren't married. So they told me that, oh, they're gonna ask you all the questions. They're not gonna ask them anything. I'm like, oh, maybe it's because, you know, you're not married. It's not your husband. No. It's my body. It's my baby. Literally until he signs that birth certificate. They're going to ask me everything. Like, they would ask me a question, and I'm used to my husband answering, like, all of, like, the house insurance. This is, like, the major stuff he typically handles. So when they're asking me certain questions, I'm looking at him. And he will say something, and they'll still look at me. And I'll literally repeat what they say, and then they'll write it down or do whatever. Like, it is you. It is your baby. Okay, it ain't his baby until he signed that paper, and then okay, then it's y'all baby. But when you're going through the process in the hospital, they did not care what he said at all. But anyways, that is my birth story. Okay, if you guys would like a part 2, because there's a couple other things, I don't want this video to be too long. It's already too long, child. Please let me know, and I'll give you guys some more info. But thank you for joining me on my first Wind Down Wednesday with Leaux. And I look forward to having many other very honest, very safe, and maybe a little spicy conversations with y'all. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and to tell your friends to watch my videos so we could be friends. Y'all know how I go. I'm tripping over my words because it is wine, child. Bye, y'all.